Let me give you a checklist and I want you to go through it and tell me if you have any of these items. I've got a checklist just here. Do you have a folder with team members' details? So where they live, their hobbies and interests, previous jobs, a CV. Do you have one of those? Have you got their last performance appraisal? Do you have a list of all the awards and achievements that they have been recognized for over the last 6 to 12 months? Have you got a collection of one-on-one conversations that you've had with them, all documented and everything? Do you have their DISC profile or another type of behavioral profile for them that tells you everything you need to know about them? Do you have a list of their motivators and stressors that gives you a little bit more information into how to put them in a productive environment? Do you have something called a PB5? And a PB5 is what 5 things do they hold really important and close to them? And do you have a folder with their name on it? If you don't have any of those, then I suggest you get one. When it comes to managing people, I'm very old school. I used to have a manila folder in my bottom drawer and had all of those things that I just listed on there. Why did I have this? Because it actually builds a story of all of your team members, okay? And it gives you, these are the hidden tools that you need to start drawing upon to get the most out of your team members, okay? Because we need to create an environment in which they feel safe, they feel productive, and because they feel safe, productive, they are having great conversations with you in one-on-ones, they're more likely to do their best work and thrive under your leadership. Now, I'll tell you a quick story about this. My daughter went in hospital for a week. My manager at the time, she had a little folder. She knew everything about me. She knew my kids' details. She knew what they liked, what they didn't like, had DISC profiles and things like that. And, I was away out of work for a week in hospital with my daughter. Now, how guilty did I feel? I feel so guilty that I wasn't at work. But on my return, walked through the front door and had a knock on the front door as soon as we come back from hospital. There's a massive fruit platter from my colleagues at work, from a manager saying, hope your daughter gets better soon. I know she likes fruit. Here's a massive fruit platter. It was huge. And she just dove straight into that and started eating all the fruit. Now, how did that make me feel? That made me feel so invested in and a bit guilty that it made me go back to work and work extra hard. I was so much more loyal. I worked a lot harder just to sort of catch up. But I just felt a real sense of belonging in that workplace. Even when recruiters start knocking on the door saying, hey, Clint, I've got these job opportunities. I said, no, I just want to stay here because I felt that I felt invested in pretty much. Now, not everyone has these experiences, but you as a manager, this is a special bunch of tools that it's free. Okay, you don't have to spend that much money on it, and you can use it to make sure that your employees thrive in the workplace, because now your results are a direct result of everyone else's efforts, right? So everyone else is working hard to get to the goal. Now, how can you use it? 5 minutes before a one-on-one conversation, you can review all the details. So when you come into that one-on-one conversation that you've got scheduled in, you know much more about them. You can then check on their progress as they go from the last fortnight to the next fortnight. You can look at their PD plan. You know what their strengths and weaknesses are. You can review their DISC profile, which says, okay, I need to adapt and change my communication style to suit their needs, to get information through to them a lot quicker and to understand them a lot quicker. If they have, and you can use this for reward and recognition. So if they have kids in the workplace, if they have kids, then what you can do is you can mention them in a conversation. I always start the first part of your one-on-one conversation with something personal, because it makes you human at the end of the day. So, and that'll break the ice straight away. So you can ask about their kids, their soccer, how they're getting on at school, because you know their school age or daycare. And that just makes you so much more humble. It makes you, it actually makes your employee want to work for you because you've taken the time out, and it only takes 5 minutes to actually understand them, their situation. Everyone is different. When it comes to reward and recognition, for example, Some really simple things you can do is here's how, take half a day off. I know your kids soccer matches in the afternoon, or hey, they got cross country in the morning, hey, come in a little bit later. You will get such a massive lift. Productivity will go up, motivation will go up. They'll feel so much more invested in the work that you're doing, and you're more likely to get a better result. So get an old-fashioned P file, collect all the data about them, so you can use that to build and create an environment where they feel psychologically safe, they have a career plan, you're taking the time out to listen, and you'll see a massive upshift in productivity, engagement, which will be reflected in all of the engagement surveys that you run. You're going to get better results. So if you haven't already done so, get a P file.